Welcome back to our life study. Now we are on the life movement number 2 of Joseph the Dreamer. Uh, we are now in the scene of Potiphar's house. In this juncture, we will ask our sister Abby to lead us in our discussion.
Okay, so now we're going to read about the story of Joseph. In Genesis 39, this is 1 to 20, but we'll just read 1 to 10. So maybe we can read 2 verses each. I'll start and then Dennis will continue. Now Joseph had been brought down to Egypt. An Egyptian named Potiphar, an official pharaoh and the captain of the guard, purchased him from the Ishmaelites who had brought him there. The Lord was with Joseph. He was successful and lived in the household of his Egyptian master.
Verse 3, his master observed that the Lord was with him and that the Lord made everything he was doing successful. Verse 4, so Joseph found favor in his sight and became his personal attendant. Potiphar appointed Joseph overseer of his household and put him in charge of everything he owned.
Verse 5, from the time Potiphar appointed him over his household and over all that he owned, the Lord blessed the Egyptian's household for Joseph's sake. The blessing of the Lord was on everything that he had, both in his house and in his fields. Verse 6, so Potiphar left everything he had in Joseph's care. He gave no thought to anything except the food he ate. Now Joseph was well built and good looking.
Verse 7, soon after these things, his master's wife took notice of Joseph and said, come to bed with me. Verse 8, but he refused, saying to his master's wife, look, my master does not give any thought to his household with me here, and everything that he owns he has put into my care.
Verse 9, there is no one greater in this household than I am. He has withheld nothing from me except you, because you are his wife. So how could I do such a great evil and sin against God? Even though she continued to speak to Joseph day after day, he did not respond to her invitation to go to bed with her.
Ayan. Okay, so what's now happening sa life ni Joseph here, right? So we just read Joseph is taken now to Egypt from Canaan and becomes a slave in Potiphar's house, no? And because the Lord is with him, we can see that the Lord has been flourishing Joseph in everything that he's been doing in the household. But however, Potiphar's wife, no, when she has seen Joseph, she now tries to tempt him. No? And Joseph, amazingly, no, refused. The Bible says he refused out of his fear of God and commitment to do what is right. And then when that happened, after that, Potiphar's wife relayed the message, a different message, no, to Potiphar, and falsely accused Joseph, no. And what happened to Potiphar after entrusting everything to Joseph, and now he said to Potiphar's wife, no, he got angry. Why did Joseph do this to you? Now, without any investigation, he became angry and immediately throw Joseph into prison. No? So, but we can see here, though Joseph is no longer in the land of promise and apart from his family, the Lord is still with Joseph, no? And he has not been abandoned. Yeah. Okay, so any thoughts, any insights that you got from this life stage of Joseph?
The scandal.
Yes.
Grabe, no?
Yes.
The drama.
Drama and scandal, yeah.
Baka for Joseph, parang plus points, pogi points.
Okay, points.
Ikaw na. So, excellent na siya sa house ni Lord, tapos good looking pa. Siya na. Kaya pala, galit na galit mga brothers.
Maybe, ito rin pala yun.
Okay. Lord.
So the Bible is truthful, no? So now Joseph was well built and good looking.
Yeah,
So
right.
given the fact na yun na nga yung stature niya, and then entrusted by Potiphar pa.
Yeah, so there's definition, the physical appearance of Joseph. Yeah.
But what was highlighted was the Lord's presence in Joseph's life. If not mistaken, it was written in this chapter twice. The Lord was with him. Yeah. And that comforted me. I feel for Joseph. He was sold by his brothers, his own family members. Maybe he lost his identity. And even the language of the wife of Potiphar, he said, this Hebrew man humiliated me. So may racist comment and siya. So him, no long far from his family, doesn't know his identity anymore, and now he now has a sense na my race pala is lower than the Egyptians. No? And so what I have right now is siguro my excellence in this work. And that's being jeopardized by the wife. Diba? So, yeah.
Very intense din ng tension in this particular chapter,
Yes.
because after telling us that Joseph became successful, that the Lord was with him, biglang this tragedy happens to him in which he was innocent and he was just trying to obey the Lord. Yet somehow, gaya na ng the way you explained it a while ago, he was thrown into prison without even any investigation. I was watching this drama siya about the Qing dynasty. Diba, you may connect the...
Yeah.
Pero kasi parang the stain against the wife of the emperor is a stain against the emperor himself. So sometimes I feel it's a similar case with Potiphar. It didn't really matter if Joseph was innocent or not. But the fact that he compromised, or not even because of him, it was the wife who compromised herself. But because his name was dragged into it, thereby compromising yung wife, Potiphar was afraid for his own reputation then. And as a result, no need for investigation, just send the money.
Yeah, and also, if you know, kasi your servants, like Potiphar knowing Joseph's character, it might hit differently to him. Na maybe it's not really Joseph, it's my wife who has these feelings for Joseph. So parang pride ko yun eh.
Yeah.
Na parang my wife loves him more. So, but I won't show it.
And the Bible is silent naman sa physical looks ni Potiphar. Malay mo, iba talaga yung itsura niya compared kay Joseph.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Of course, implying na,
Yes.
mas attractive.
Mas attractive si Joseph. No? So he doesn't want to address the fact that he's blessed, but he just listened to his wife for him to save maybe himself, his reputation as well.
And fun fact pala, most ancient Egyptians were monogamous daw, except for Pharaoh. So this one was really,
And then the mere fact
Scandalous,
na sumigaw, yung voice niya, nag-scream siya, and then he left his outer garment. So this is like,
yeah.
that's the exact scene, meaning Joseph fled the scene of temptation, the seduction, no? But in this case, binaliktad yung kwento na it's rape. So that's why he's thrown to the prison. Some people would say na he could have been judged instantly with that penalty. But for some reason, he wasn't. So he was placed in prison instead. So in the first instance, ang naiwan ni Joseph, yung he was sold as a slave, was the multicolored tunic. In this case,
Oh,
yung
that's right.
outer garment.
Yeah.
So may naiwan na naman si Joseph
Right. Right.
na ginamit against him, of course.
Yeah. I find it interesting also na in episode 1, we met a Joseph who was naive and who was kind of proud. And in here, we meet a Joseph who turns out to be a man of integrity.
Yes.
Pala, was not willing to, cross the boundaries or the lines, who understood what is right and wrong in the eyes of God and was committed to following.
Yes.
Goes to show that people can definitely change when they're walking with the Lord.
When they have this strong relationship with the Lord.
Yes. Maybe God saw that also, no? Na habang bata pa si Joseph, he saw his heart. Just like in David's case, remember that a man after my own heart. Maybe he saw the integrity in Joseph even before it manifested later on.
I don't want to over glorify Joseph as well. But I also want to put myself in Potiphar's and his wife's shoes because they're witnesses to Joseph's life. And then here's this Hebrew guy doing this all actions with integrity. Parang I would wonder why. Diba? I would want to have also this kind of excellent life that he's living. Maybe they have these questions. Na-evangelize na rin sila. No? So David, who's David? different story. Different life movement. It's empowering for me that a simple gesture, a simple life, a Hebrew, the only Hebrew maybe in this house, can plant seeds of faith, of glory, and of love that he never had, but he only had it because God was with him.
Which is interesting, no? The idea of faithfulness, the idea of taking care of someone's house. It's not his house, but someone's house, and doing it faithfully. And I think that's the key dito sa life movement to ni Joseph, the dreamer. Understanding na he sensed that there's a purpose nga of why he's there in Egypt. But for now, hindi pa yan nakikita. There's a trust. There's a courageous faith na trusting in the hand of the Lord even in this difficulty na again, nilagay siya sa prison. It's like binenta ka na nga as a slave and then ngayon put in prison, falsely accused.
I have a side question though. Is it like, because we know slaves back then had to work so that they can be free one day, maybe 7 years or I don't know, more than that. Do the Egyptians also apply to this also? Kasi he wants to work well. Maybe he wants to be free one day. I don't know.
Could be, but we don't know.
I don't know.
We don't know. We can do additional research on that. Yeah, but hold that thought. That's
But
a good thought.
definitely there's a possibility because we do see what happens to Joseph, but we just don't know if it's codified, if it's in law or something.
Exactly.
Or there needs to be conditions of the
Yeah.
release of the slave, or in this
Like
case,
in
in
Israel.
prison.
Yeah.
Like in Israel's law is the year of Jubilee, or in after 50 years, the slaves are set free to become free from slavery.
Yeah.
In this case, I don't know with Egyptian slavery, but we know eventually down the road the Moses story in terms of their being slaves to Egypt for a lifetime. So you have that kind of dynamics.
And even for a slave in Potiphar's house, Joseph seemed to have a very good
Standing.
situation. Yeah.
Sarap ng pagkain na siguro.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Pero gusto ko ding balikan yung sinabi mo, no, na si Joseph, the Lord was with him. And then I think for me, yun yung striking verse sa life stage niya ito, sa verse 2. No, the Lord was with Joseph. And in connection siguro sa life natin right now as Christians, the Lord will be with us also wherever we are, even in difficult or unexpected situations. Sometimes people might think, or maybe ako from the past, na parang kapag nagka-problem ako, parang, Lord, nandyan ka pa ba? Do you still remember me? I'm still here. Pero here, it's a great reminder for me na even in difficult situations, God will also be with us. And He's working, even if we can't feel Him. Or the things that we want things to happen for us might not happen. And we might think na, the Lord abandoned me. But it's not the case for Joseph. And I believe it's not gonna be the case for us, even now, for Christians. God will always be with us. Yun nga, naalala ko sabi, diba? The Lord will never leave you nor forsake you. So, yeah.
So, yeah, very strong yung conviction and faith ni Joseph na the Lord is with him. And then what Potiphar's wife was doing is very sinful. Kasi sabi niya kay Potiphar's wife, so how could I do such a great evil and sin against God? Yung conviction niya na mali ito.
He wasn't just afraid of Potiphar
Oo.
or the consequences, but it was talagang si God yung reason.
Mm-mm.
Right,
Acting
yes.
right.
Oo.
That's very timely that you shared that, because if you put it in today's world, may mga boss ka na unfair din. And you don't want to hurt your bosses because it will jeopardize your current position in the office. So this is encouragement how Joseph kept his integrity, kept being faithful, even though some members of the house or members of the company is against you, or is lying about accusing you of something that you never did. So it's encouragement to continue to persevere because God has a plan. Men might mean it for evil, but God has a good plan for you to persevere wherever you are.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful, no? Persevere.
Of course, I'm the last again.
But you're the favorite.
Yeah. Wow, such a beautiful sharing, no? But I saw different important things based on the verses that we have read. First one is, just like Sister Abby said, no, the Lord was with Joseph and he became successful, di ba? And then after those blessings and success comes the problem, the temptation. Well, in reality, as Christians, we believe that the Lord is with us, but we are not exempted on the problems, especially temptation. Eh, kung gwapo, like Brother Gino. Di ba? We have, sabi mo sa Bible, we have to run sa temptation. No? We cannot fight it. Yeah. To be honest, as a man of God, I try to fight those kinds of temptation. It's very hard kasi bumabalik eh.
Oo.
Bumabalik. So what's the Bible advice for us is to run away, to flee. Yeah. And I believe that's the very effective talaga.
Yeah.
So I just remember what my pastor said before. There was a sermon that he shared, like ang problema kasi ng tao hindi siya nawawala, like may problema, then biyaya, blessing, problema ulit. So the main goal is that we Christian do not give up. Even troubles come and go. So it's because we have the Lord Jesus Christ as our hope, no? So we hold on that hope every day in our Christian lives talaga.
Yeah.
So as long as we are still here, the battle still continues kasi. But we are hopeful, and then we claim the victory through Christ. Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful, ano? Anything to add?
I think we're
Okay.
I think
Alright,
we're in
okay.
the
So to sa ating discussion, napakaganda and so meaningful. So if I were to summarize our discussion about the life of Joseph in the house of Potiphar, I would summarize it like this story highlights God's faithfulness and Joseph's integrity in the midst of trials. So yeah, wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister
you.
Abby, for
Thank you.
facilitating our discussion for this episode.